In 1968, there were approximately 303 million high school age people in the world. Now let's narrow that number down. Out of these, 18 million lived in the United States. Out of that, just 270 were in the Washington state, and only about 1 lakh lived in the Seattle area. Finally, 300 students attended Lakeside School, one of the very few schools that could afford a computer. Bill Gates happened to be one of them. Gates said to a graduating class in 2005, if there had been no Lakeside, there would have been no Microsoft. That's the power of luck. The odds of a high school student attending a school with such foresight were 1 in a million, and Gates hit that jackpot. But luck has a twin sibling, risk. One of Gates' closest friends, Kent Evans, was poised to join him in building Microsoft. Tragically, Kent died in a mountaineering accident in his high school. The odds of such a tragedy? Roughly 1 in a million. The same force, the same magnitude, working in opposite directions. Here is the other side of luck, which is risk. This brings us to an important lesson. When judging success, whether it be your own or whether it be others, it's never as good or bad as it seems. Luck and risk are like two sides of the same coin, and they play a far bigger role in outcomes than we often acknowledge. Take investing for example. If you buy a stock and it doesn't perform, well, after 5 years you might think you made a bad decision. But what if it was a good decision and you were just on the wrong side of the risk? The truth is, we celebrate investors who got lucky and dismiss those who made smart decisions but faced unfortunate odds. It's not always fair, but it's the reality. Consider John D. Rockefeller. Historians often praise him as the cunning businessman who had cunning strategies. But some of his practices were considered borderline illegal. When does the narrative shift from a genius innovator to a rule breaking person? The line is thinner than we'd like to admit, and much of it depends on luck and also how you see it. Even Benjamin Graham, the father of value investing and a mentor to Warren Buffett, admitted that much of his success came from a single lucky investment, which is owning a large chunk of Geico stock. Was it bold? Was it reckless? Or just lucky? Graham himself wasn't sure of this. This thin line between bold and reckless decisions is everywhere. Fortunes are made and lost on leverage. Businesses thrive or fail based on leadership. And the contradictory advice, like the customer is always right versus customers don't know what they want, can both be true depending on the context. In hindsight, you come to know what is true. Frederick Lewis Allen, one of the author's favorite historians, focused on the lives of everyday Americans rather than the extremes. Why? Because the broad trends often teach us more than outliers. Success stories dominate headlines, but the lessons that truly matter come from studying the average. So what's the takeaway here? Respect luck and risk. Arrange your financial life so that a single failure doesn't wipe you out. Keep playing the game until the odds eventually fall in your favor. And remember, when it comes to success or failure, it's never just skill or intelligence. Luck and risk always have their say. Now, this is the author's perspective of luck. The author of the book, The Psychology of Money, looks at luck in this way. But I have a little different perspective. From my perspective, there is no such thing as pure luck. As Naval Ravikant puts it, luck is what happens when opportunity meets the prepared. Your present is the result of your past thoughts and actions, and your future depends entirely on what you do today. Remember at all times, God's greatest gift to mankind is self-effort. If you find this video useful, you can check out my previous video where I give a detailed explanation of the first chapter of this book, and do let me know if such videos are helping you to understand your finance better.